Well, thank you very much, and it is a true honor and a pleasure to be here with you guys today. And you mentioned in your opening remarks that hopefully in this next 5 or 10 minutes I'll be able to tell you why we got invited here today. And I am truly hoping that after this next 5 or 10 minutes I can tell you why we got invited here today. But as you spoke, I've been in the military for about 20 years, and I've served as a traditional soldier since 1993. So that one weekend a month, I've done everything from facility engineering, construction engineering, as well as combat engineering. So I have a broad basis of work within that. And I started my career as a topographic engineer, and that's what I did during Desert Storm and Desert Shield, as evidenced by the geography degree. So I got to actually put it to work. But what I was hoping to actually talk about today was to kind of relay my experiences in Iraq with the counter-IED fight and the things that we did with to stop the enemy forces. As I think you guys are well aware in reading the papers today, that much of the injuries that our coalition forces and our American forces have received in Iraq and Afghanistan have been from IEDs. In fact, 54% of the casualties just last year alone were from IED attacks in Afghanistan. So it's the center of gravity, as we like to say. It's where the fight is. And as you look back in history, lots of people want to claim they had the first IED. And I'm not going to tell you who had it, but one version is that it came in trying to create a submarine, actually, when they first learned that gunpowder could be basically submerged and was waterproof and could be used as an explosive. And it has evolved ever since then. So I can delve a little bit into the organizational characteristics of how we're doing the counter-IED fight, as well as our assured mobility doctrine, which is extremely interesting from this perspective of using statistical analysis to determine where the next IED is gonna be out there on the ground, to using true scientific measures to understand what the explosives are doing, why they're doing it, and how we can counter that with our own technology, such as jamming devices, aerial operations to understand where hot marks are with infrared and things like that. And also I can talk a little bit about the evolution in the technology from the enemy's perspective, of how they used basically advances in technology to counter anything we had that we could stop their ID. They came back with something different. So it's a really fascinating look. And the year I was in Iraq, like I said, we cleared 1,500 IEDs, and we did that by performing over 2,700 combat actual patrols. So we had a pretty good find rate. About 50% of the time we could find the IED out there. So I want to talk about some of the techniques in which we do that, how we can detect IEDs, from the M1A1 eyeball, just a soldier's ability to look out and see something's changed on the ground, to actual more sophisticated technology to look at changes, whether it's videotaping a route and then coming back an hour later with that same videotape, or looking at mechanical means to dig up the ground and things like that. And then we can get into a little bit of discussion on some techniques we use to actually neutralize, whether that's using the robotics to go out there and find the IEDs and clear them and things like that, as well as some of the protection measures, the actual armament that we use. Without getting too classified, we can talk about that a little bit too. So it is a great pleasure to be here. I look forward to the lively discussion.